Okay, seriously. Just put out Sinister already. I want a good horror movie! House at the End of the Street. Ugh. Well, House at the End of the Street is about a mother and daughter who are played by Jennifer Lawrence and Elizabeth Shue, and they move into a new town, and then they realize that the house next to them, there was a little girl who murdered their mother and father, and then when the daughter befriends the surviving son, who's played by Max Theriot, I think his last name is, and then then all this shit starts to happen, and what is supposed to be called horror ensues. Now the performances are just bleh! But obviously, except for Jennifer Lawrence, she did a good job. She did a good job. Most of the lead characters in horror films are terrible, and most of the time, and sometimes when it's a really good horror movie, and this is a shitty horror movie, and the lead character did a good job. This is complete opposite. Elizabeth Shue just looked awful and acted awful as well. I mean, her performance was terrible. I mean, I wasn't expecting a really good job from you, Elizabeth Shue, but really? Your performance was just awful. Well, then again, her performance in Hide and Seek was terrible, and that was another crappy horror movie. Meh. Yeah. Could have had it coming. And Max Theriot, or I don't really give a shit, because either way, his performance was fucking awful. He did a terrible, and I mean terrible job. I was not expecting a good performance from him. Not at all. I mean, even though I was having some high expectations for the movie, I knew he was just going to be terrible, and of course I was right. He's on a 2 bad horror movie streak. First he did My Soul to Take, and now he's done House at the End of the Street. Man, Max Theriot, I really don't give a shit. You fucking suck. Now let's get on to what I liked, barely, and did not like about this movie. Now, the only things I liked about this movie was, of course, the performance of Jennifer Lawrence. She did a really good job, and the only good actor in this movie. Well, she is a great actress. I mean, she's been nominated for a fucking Oscar. And now she does this? Are you serious? You've done so many good movies now. You've been on a great movie streak. Because you did Winter's Bone. And you did X-Men First Class. And The Hunger Games. Just, oh my god. And then you do this piece of shit. You ended your streak, you dumb fucking bitch. Alright, but also she's got Silver Linings Playbook coming out, and that looks good, so I bet they'll make it up. And also, sometimes it could have okay suspense, and sometimes good scares. You're lucky I'm saying that, because most of this movie, actually, 90% of this movie was fucking terrible. Now let's talk about what I did not like about this movie, and it's gonna be fun. Now, obviously, of course, I talked about the bad acting, and it's freaking terrible. Oh, horror movies. You pick the worst cast members you can think of because you probably want to fucking piss us all off, don't you? Okay, I know that. You're probably not thinking that because you want a good movie and good actors, but you're so stupid! And this movie felt like it was rushed. Big time. And it is pretty short. And it felt so rushed in my opinion. Maybe not to anyone else because I haven't heard it from anyone else. But that's just my opinion. And this movie used almost every single horror movie trick in the book. It used so many cliches, it wanted me to shoot myself. And as if you already know, I'm such a huge fan of horror movies. And having to see how they use the same things over and over and over and over and over again kills a part of me inside. And it just really pisses me off. That's probably why I love Cabin in the Woods so much, because it was making fun of it. This basically showed everything that Cabin in the Woods was making fun of. Stuff that the Scream movies had made fun of. You fucking dipshit. And the ending in this movie, which I'm not going to give away, don't worry about that, but still, it was, oh my god, it was so bad. It was so bad, I started laughing out loud. I couldn't help myself. I'm like, I was trying to be serious. I'm like, okay, laugh, don't laugh. So stupid. You're so stupid. You're stupid morons. You're trying to make a good horror movie, and like any other ones, it doesn't work. Sorry about that. I mean, they chose the stupidest things possible. They chose the stupidest things that I can ever think of. Like, everyone else I've talked to who has seen this movie, they agree with me on how stupid the ending was. And if you liked the movie, which I am very surprised if you did, you're going to have to agree that the ending was terrible. Everyone's going to have to agree on that. I bet even all the people who made this movie are now watching and be like, oh god, look what we did. Well, overall, just don't see House at the End of the Street. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. And everyone I've talked to has hated it. There's so many people who have really hyped to see this movie. So many people because they love Jennifer Lawrence and they loved her in the Hunger Games and they wanted to see this movie. And I've talked to them and they've had to agree that this movie was terrible. And it's true. This movie is a piece of poop on a stick. So overall, I will be giving House at the End of the Street 1 star. It's very lucky I'm going to give it 1 star. Basically, due to Jennifer Lawrence's performance and those couple of scares. Not really scares, but suspenseful kind of things. You're very lucky that happened, or else I would be ranting about you almost as much as 11 Level 11, but God, how I do not want to talk about that movie. Well, that's my review of Shit at the End of the Toilet. I mean House at the End of the Street. And I really hope you enjoyed my review. And I'm Lucas Stringer. I'll see you guys later.